Brightway Immigration and Asylum Practitioners. It is a live program right now, Nigeria 101.1 FM. Good afternoon. My name hasn't changed, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I cannot love you less, all of you, on my platform and all over the world that are listening. Even mentioning your name is too large today's program. So I'm just going to recognize all of you together at one go, and God bless you for your support at all times. Who am I to say that you should do things compulsorily for me? But for the love that you have for me, that is what is keeping us together as one. Love is what we need to move the world round our globe. And if we lack love, we lack everything. Wisdom will not be there for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my usual program, Nigeria 101.1 FM, how to regularize your status in the United Kingdom. Tokunbo Olagbaye, time to start is 2 o'clock UK time. And I think it's the same time with Nigeria, but about 5-10 minutes behind the schedule of the time. But it's okay. We will still catch up and talk about what we need to catch up. For all those that are asking questions about whether I'm going to do the English program or Yoruba program, you can see the way I have started it. You know, I have my own way of enticing my fans all over the world. So I won't change anything less for anybody. But let me tell you, at all times you will be having the program in English. The Yoruba program is a different program entirely. It's got nothing to do with law. Please like and share and let your friends and family know that we're talking about the issues of how to regularize status, how to come to UK, the documents you need to fulfill the Secretary of State requirement for the Home Department in the United Kingdom. That's what my program is based on from time to time. Yesterday, you will notice that on my platform, we went on this issue of on a seminar whereby they talk about the issue of child slavery in the United Kingdom. That is not today's topic entirely. I haven't got that time to discuss that today. I will have time to shed more light on that when I have time. Today, what is bothering my mind and what continues to bother my mind is my fans, my friends that are in the UK, married to EEA national, want to regularize their status. Something happened in between. They are stuck, they could not regularize their status, and they cannot go into employment. Everything is just stopped in between. What can we do? How can we move this forward? What the Secretary of State needs to be aware of, because the 2006 regulations is not waiting for anybody and it's not stopping in the United Kingdom. It also applies to those who are in Germany, in France, everywhere. So when we incorporate it into the United Kingdom domestic law, the government of the United Kingdom and the Secretary of State for the Home Department needs to be flexible in terms of the requirement of document. Flexibility must come into this. Two people that are not in good terms will not be able to provide documents for each other when it comes to submission of documents to the Secretary of State for the Home Department for the purpose of granting a status in the United Kingdom. I am shocked and bemused to note that the Secretary of State thinks that when two parties are not in love together and expect the other one to bring his or her ID card or passport to the one that is not married to anymore, it's totally impossible. And as a result of that, I want to continue to focus on this area in the meantime to see whether it will go around and things can be done to resolve this problem, because it's an ongoing problem and it's actually affecting the employment labor, affecting family and on the domestic level, and it's causing problems, causing feud, you know. And to take care of kids is very difficult when the person that has the kids with him or her hasn't got the right to continue in the labor market to work and pay into the kitty. Then it will not be able to put food on the table for the children. I think this is so unfair to the system. So the system needs to the people that are affected. So the system needs to look into it again. They need to amend it. They need to redress it, and they need to to resolve the problem and make it a bit soft, because at the moment it's not soft at all. It's too harsh. The law on requirement of documents as a EEA family member is too harsh on the third party, non-EEA national, and I think it's really unfair to them. And there is another one that is saying that they have to live in the family of in the house of their sister or auntie. Then what is the essence of giving them the 5 years residence card as an extended family member? These are the areas of concern. The whole idea of bringing a sister or a brother into the country to come and exercise treaty right along with the EEA sister or EEA brother is for him or her to have an independence, to be able to distance herself away from asking from the EEA person. And that's the whole idea. And if Secretary of State can agree to grant 5 years residence card to him or to her as a family member of the person who holds the European Union, then the Secretary of State should expect that at that point when that person has been granted, the person will of course move away and want to have his or her independence. So I think the law is totally out of it. I think the law is not addressing what needs to address. And as a result of that, I do not concur. It is so impossible for somebody to continue to live with his sister or her sister that is struggling with 3 or 4 children in 2-bedroom when that person has already been granted a 5-year residence card to go into labor market to exercise treaty rights along with his or her sister. So how do we go about it? What exactly is the government thinking? What is coming out of their mind? Thank goodness God that we are coming out of Europe. So we will not even go, there will not be any need to go through all this headache anymore. Because it's giving somebody a gift that you cannot give for life. You're giving a gift and at the end of the day, you are asking it back after 5 years. What is the point of giving it to that person? When you are giving, you have to relinquish completely and give it and say, listen, I have given you this thing and I've taken my mind off, my eyes off. That's the way I perceive it. And that's the way a good practitioner should perceive this system now. The 5-year residence card under extended family member application is totally outbox. It's not good at all. It's not impressing. Because at the end of the 5 years, they are stuck. They could not get their permanent residence. They could not go into employment. The employers are so worried about the fine of 60,000, 30,000. And as a result of that, it's becoming obscure now. People are now out of job. They are now out there roaming about. So they take them back to square one. There is no need to take somebody from poverty and take them back into poverty again. It's of no use. You rather leave them the way they were before they met you. Leave them in the position they were and let them continue instead of you to take them away from the poverty and at the end of the day you put them back into that poverty again. It's not fair. It's really not fair. And this is another area that people need to focus on other than just saying things that are not even worth saying or discussing. You see, the law is there. I understand that they have to apply the domestic law into the East 2006 regulations, but at the same time the question remains unanswered. The right of the EEA extended family member has not been totally taken care of. And also is the same right that they are giving to those who are not having marriage certificate with their partner. So for the purpose of those of you who are out there now that has your partner and you don't have marriage certificate, if anything happened in your relationship, you are going to go back to square one as well. Because you will not have a right to retain of residence. So the right to retain residence will not be there for you. And as a result of that, you will not be able to continue in your employment. Because at the moment, the employers are very worried. So immediately your certificate of application is coming to an end a month before it's ended. They are making an advertisement for you and say, listen, have you started thinking that your application is coming to an end or your right to employment will come to an end? Even if it's your residence card or your right to live to be in the UK, the moment it's approaching the end, a month or two, those employers are very reluctant to keep you in employment, despite the fact that Section 3C of the Immigration Act 1971 is saying that the rights you have at the beginning of your employment will continue when you are going for renewal. And that right cannot be taken away. But the employers are so daft and they cannot even think rightly to know that that right is there for them to contact Home Office directly and say, hey, hold on a minute, but your Section 3C says that she has the right to continue in employment. So what is going on? That area has not been looked after. The employer should not be scared of Home Office when it comes to somebody who have right to work at the time they came to your industry. What you need to do is to check with the employment service scheme at the Home Office and find out whether that right continues. If Home Office said no, you will ask them question that what happens to Section 3C? Has it been removed? And that's one of the oldest law in immigration rule. Has that section been removed? And as I speak today's date, it has not been taken off. So employers should sit tight and understand what they are doing as well. If your employee is useful to you and it's a vital instrument to your success in your organization, in your industry, you will not lay that employee off carelessly, mainly because a right to work is finishing or because it has finished. If your employee is useful to you as an employer, your duty, your job is to safeguard that employee. And how do I mend? I mend by calling Home Office directly. Call them to the employment service scheme directly and say, listen, I want to know whether the right of this person continues. If they said no, you refer them back to their own instruments. Employers should be able to know how to refer Home Office back to their own instrument of Section 3C. And if you don't understand how to refer them back to, that means you're not supposed to be operating business in the United Kingdom, because there are so many laws that guide the employers in the UK. And therefore, you need to understand your right as an employer and an employee's right as well to remain in employment when it comes to extension of status in the UK. As long as the status is still there at the time they submitted it to the Home Office and there is evidence that it was there, you cannot lay them off. You cannot lay them off, because it's like you're killing the whole family. You are taking bread from the whole house. You're taking them back to square one. And if you know your law, if you understand what you're doing, if you're operating rightfully and you're paying all your taxes, you should not be scared. All you need to do is to phone Home Office and say, listen, I have my employee here. This thing is coming to an end at so date. Can you let me have some right guiding my employee? You employer that's out there, what you need to put in your mind is Section 3C. As long as the client has that right to work in the UK at the time the application is going in for a renewal, that remains and that continues. You cannot just be laying everybody off, laying them off. When you laid a husband off, you have laid the whole family off from work, from employment, from food, from living a better life. You have destroyed a whole family. Lately now, there is a client of mine there that has been living with his EEA wife. It should be a wife anyway. I don't know why he did not lead her to registry 5 or 6 years ago on my advice. And I said to him, why don't you guys get married? They have 2 children. They are in love. It's a real serious relationship. And they're still there as we speak. But only because there is no marriage certificate. And the extension, we went in for the extension at the right time. As we speak now, they have laid him off from employment that he's been working for over 5 or 6 years. Mainly because he's an extended family member. And mainly because the Home Office failed to issue certificate of application, the long one, the long version. Because Home Office is not issuing the long version to extended family member anymore for some strange reason that they too cannot answer themselves. Because at the time these people went in for extension, they have more than 28 days leave to remain at the time of submission. So of course, the long version of the employment entitlement of the certificate of application should have been issued, but it wasn't issued. It wasn't issued. So at the end of the day, this person was given the short version. Basically, the short version could not confirm the right to continue in employment, which is absolutely nonsense. Because there was visa, there was leave under that on that document. There's a continuous leave on the document at the time it went in for submission. Now, as we speak, he has mortgage to pay. He has wife and he has partner and 2 children to maintain, and has other home bills. The Home Office, for some strange reason, from nowhere I can even think about them, or the employer, from nowhere I can think about him or her, understanding the labor market or the employment law in the UK, laid him off. Only because the certificate of application issued was short, not long. It was short and not a long version. I found this very irritating. There are so many people out there that have been laid off from employment mainly because of Home Office admin error, Home Office negligence, Home Office maladministration, Home Office Wednesday, Home Office unnecessary acting of outside the law. They are acting ultra-virus. And that is a public organization that must not act outside public law. And that's what they are doing. You see? I've just looking at the readings now. Somebody said this happened to me. It happens to many people that I can talk of. Whether through my practice or somebody else's practice or another office, I am aware of people chatting and discussing it in my ears and say, Madam, is there something we can do about this? So if we have the Home Office representative under this platform listening, I think it's worth taking it back to your organization, to your department, and discuss this and chat about it on your desk. I think it's nonsense. Because the Section 3C that gave that right to continue in employment has not been revoked, has not been deleted, has not been amended, has not been removed. So to my surprise, those who submitted at the right time are now being out of employment just because Home Office in their delay has failed to grant status on time. Who is this employee going to blame at the end of the day? There's mortgage to pay, there are bills, there are insurance, there are so many things to cover. And if you are a kind of person in my shoes that has university school fees to pay, you're doomed. So how do you manage life like that? If you have university fee, the students from university will not wait for you. Once they ask them for fee, they're going to send the telephone or chat you and say, Mom, your dad, money is due. Can you put it in the account? Because they didn't send you not to have money to send them to school. So the point here is that what are the things that the government is doing to look into this situation? And you that are out there, what exactly do you need to understand what is going on? What do you need? First of all, let me start on you guys that are doing partnership under European regulations. And I've been campaigning to people that have come to my office and said, why don't you lead each other to altar? Why are you hanging around? Because if you don't lead each other to altar on EEA application and you're doing partnership of 2 years, if anything happened to your relationship, you will not have retained right of residence under partnership because you are going to be assessed under immigration rule. Everyone that go in, even though you are granted 5 years, you are assessed. It was brought back indirectly to be assessed under immigration rule, and that is where you were granted. Lately, it wasn't there. It was implemented. It was implemented into domestic law, so as to allow you guys that haven't got marriage certificate to go through this. And if you know your relationship is genuine, it's not just one of those, then you can easily lead him or her to the altar and get this thing done and dusted. All you need to do here is to have the right information at the right time. The first thing you have to put at the back of your mind, is to get your international passport. Get your international passport. The moment you can have your international passport, the person who is holding the European passport will make inquiry to the registrar and say, listen, I want to get married. Forget about them taking approval from the Home Office. Home Office does not have any right to tell you not to proceed with right to marry in the UK. That is your EU right. European Convention on Human Rights. That's your right. It's like family life. Article 8, 12, and 14, like I said last week, they are your right that cannot be taken away from you by the state authority. So you can use it at any time. Right not to be discriminated against, right to marry, and right to family life. 8, 12, and 14, they are yours. Because if you don't have marriage certificate and something happened between two of you and he or she walked away from you, it's not going to be funny. It's not going to be funny. Marriage certificate in this kind of journey is like having a second option. Don't forget, the clearance is not taking place until 2020 December, not next year March. So don't let anybody. In fact, as at yesterday or 2 days ago, you can see what is going on now at the corridor of power. That the whole thing is in a mess at the moment. And when God wants to fight for weak and heavy laden person, God will have to come in a way to make sure that the voice or the language of people are messed up. And that's what you saw on the day of Pentecost, when people start speaking different languages. That is how God is, to show how superior God is over Satan. So at the moment, it is evident that the languages at the corridor of power are not clear. But whatever language is spoken, it has been said by the Prime Minister previously and from other sources that 2020 December is the end of the right of the EU movement. So whoever put in an application, whoever wants to put in an application, whoever wants to do anything under European law, you have till 2020 December. The moment we hit it, that will be the end of it. Everything will come back under immigration law. Everything will be replaced. All the ECHR, they have not come to conclusion on how they're going to use the ECHR. But the moment they are not a member of the European Union anymore, to now use the ECHR, they will have to find another means to use this ECHR. So the crucial thing I want you to take away from me today is to have it at the back of your mind, those who are in a relationship of 2 years or married partner, go and do marriage. Go and get married. Go and tie knots. If you don't tie knots, you're going to get stuck. I'm on 07908. Thanks for checking on that number. I'm on 07908 628240. You can richly call me without any problem. You can call me on 07908. Yeah. 07908 628240. You can reach me easily. Yes. 07908. Yes. Yes. I just want to put it out there. 0790 07908 628 240. So that is the telephone number to reach me on 07908 628 240. You can peacefully reach me to ask me a question relating to your immigration matter in the United Kingdom. 07908 628 240. Thank you. Yes, that is perfect. Superb. Now we've talked about the partners of EU persons. Yeah, we've talked about them that are not with marriage certificates. Now let's look at the extended family member. When we talk about extended family member, we're not talking about the kids under 20 up to 21 years. It's not coming under extended. It's still coming under the qualified person. But immediately over 21 will come under extended. Over 21 will come under extended. And when it comes under extended, the law is saying, which I don't agree with, and that is my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion as a human being, not even as a practitioner, as a human being. But as a practitioner, I have looked at the reason why I said it's my opinion and I want to stick to it. If you are over 21 and you are granted 5 years residence card because you met the requirement as an extended family member, the law is saying insistingly, they are still insisting that you must continue, even after granting of that 5 years, that you must continue to live under that your family person, your EU person, in order for you to be able to have your permanent residence. I think it's nonsense. I think it's nonsense because there is no reason why you have been granted if they want you to remain under him or her. I think it's nonsense. Hello? Hello? Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
I've got 1.5 months left on my residency permit to expire. Can I put in an application now?
Yeah, of course. If you think you have met all the requirements. Yeah. Okay. Majorly, if you have residence card 5 years, yeah, you have to make sure that you can count your 5 years on it.
Yeah, because I've still got 1.5 months left.
That's fine. 1.5 months is not a lot.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, so it's absolutely, yes, you're right. Well, I don't want to repeat it on the public glare here, but yes, Ola Adepoju, you're right with the statement. If you have been granted 5 years residence card as an extended family member of someone who holds European passports, I don't think it is right for the law in the United Kingdom to expect you to continue to live under that person. And a lot of people have been refused because they earn more salary than their European person. The destiny of Taiwo is different from the destiny of Kehinde. So because that person holds European passport doesn't mean that he has a bigger destiny. He or she was only fortunate to go to Europe before the other person and get the red passport. And you don't even know whether the family has sold so many things for him or her to go. So of course on his return, he has to take the whole family under his application and let them have status. If they now have education and now have an opportunity to have more salary than him or her, the government is saying it is wrong and refuse them to have their permanent residence. You know, the government will be saying that it is wrong for you to earn more salary than your European applicant. I don't think that is right. I don't think that is right. I think they need to revisit that area. The government is saying that you should continue to live in the same house where the person was, or is, in fact, still. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to do that. I don't think it's right. Because one thing we need to get clear is that your European person might be struggling and only manage you and only manage to have you in his or her house just for you to get the 5 years residence card. As soon as you were granted, what comes out of his or her mouth to say, oh, thank God, that's a load off my head. But the government is saying that you should still continue to have that load again for another 5 years. I don't think it's right. I think it's wrong. Hello?
Good afternoon, Auntie.
Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for giving us advice, and God will continue to be with you.
Thank you.
Please, I just want to ask a simple, straight question. Please, can someone do a wedding at any registry?
Yeah. It depends on. I think at the moment now, the most important one is your local borough, your borough. But if you cannot satisfy your borough, if you cannot get space, you have to satisfy the register of where you are going. The reason why you jump your borough to come to theirs.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just following your program, and I really like the program.
Thank you.
Your discussion, what your topic today actually relates to me. Like, I mean, I'm talking about the extended family thing. Yeah, like I was granted 5 years, 2011. So when it expired, I applied for 2016. I applied for PR, that is a permanent resident, which they refused. My brother was studying for 2 years he was studying for 2 years, but he was not having a comprehensive insurance. Anyway, my question is, we did make an appeal, which I was at the court with my brother on the 4th of last month. But up till now, we've not had any determination from the tribunal judge. I don't know how long it takes to get a tribunal decision.
that area is not law anymore.
Okay.
That area is down to individual judges' workload.
Okay.
So the judge in question that you appear before, they probably have more to chew. More, he has more than what he can chew.
Okay.
So basically, he's going through them. And you know what? Every day they have cases to attend to.
Okay.
So which means that every day their write-up is piling up.
Okay, because it's more than 6 weeks now.
I know. I to be honest, I agree with you. I agree with you.
When the court, the judge actually said, she was like, oh, in 2 to 3 weeks time, we're going to hear from her, you know. And because actually the barrister that went with us, it was very, very vibrant. And I don't know. I don't know. The thing is
that is the normal norm, to say that within 2-3 weeks you will hear from them. But after then, you cannot approach him or her and say, listen, what have you been doing? That is prerogative. So you just have to continue to wait. And then the other thing you can do is to ask your lawyer to write to court or phone court.
Okay.
And said, listen, we have appeared before so judge on so date. It's more than 3 weeks now. We are into 4th month.
Yeah, because
can we have reason why we still not have the determination?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like it's 6 weeks now. Because actually, when we went to the court, we proved to them, because I lived with him before in Germany.
It's got nothing to do with law anymore. Try to understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
You have completed law on that day in court, on the hearing. That has ended. Yes. The next thing you are waiting for is individual efficiency,
yes,
to deliver. So it's got nothing to do with law, and nobody can put any power on her or him to force him or her. So he's going to take his time, or she's going to take her time and revert back to you when he thinks it's ready.
So there's no time limit to...
At all, there isn't at all, unless if he falls sick. And if he falls sick, which has happened in some of my cases in the past, it could be another reason. So if your lawyer has not checked with court, it could be that the judge has fallen sick, so the judge is on sick leave. And if judge is on sick leave, the other judge cannot write up the determination, because he is the one that has his opinion in the brain.
Okay.
If not, if the judge falls sick, it means that they will call you back to court for another hearing.
Oh.
So God forbid, just fingers crossed that is not the case. If that is the case, you will be returned back. You will be asked to return back to court.
Okay.
For a full hearing.
This week is making it I think it will be the 6th week, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the only thing I can say.
The anxiety is killing me.
No, that's the only thing I can say. You can just tell your lawyer to have updates with court.
Okay. Well, can I personally call them and
that's what I'm saying. You yourself can call tribunal and give them your name, your address, your date of birth, and the reference number, and they will look at it and tell you what is going on. Okay? I have to go now.
Okay, madam.
Thank you. Yeah, bye. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Please, ma'am, I want to ask a question.
Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Please, me and my husband, we got married in 1997 in Lagos. So when we did our application, the Home Office have our marriage certificate. So they did not return it back to us. And I got indefinite leave to remain, and my husband got 2.5 years. So we tried to chase the marriage certificate, but they did not return it back to us. They said they did not have it for them.
But madam, 1997 is 21 years back.
Yes.
That's too late. They would have destroyed it.
No, because we married in 1997.
And then the marriage certificate sent to Home Office when?
The marriage certificate sent to Home Office in 2010.
That is even 8 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
So they will have destroyed it.
But the question I want to ask now,
okay,
that can we get married together here in England?
Yeah, you can do another marriage. That's your own right. As long as you are doing it with the same person, it's not bigamy.
No, it's with the same person.
You can get married 50 times if you decide to do it with the same person. It won't be bigamy. It will be bigamy if you don't dissolve the first one and doing it with another person.
So my husband got 2.5 years. Is it possible? And I got leave to remain, indefinite leave to remain.
Then your husband will have another 2.5 years.
Yeah, he has 2.5 years already.
And then he will apply for another one again.
Yeah, this is the second one. They just gave him recently again.
What was his status at the time they gave him the first one? Was it from Nigeria or from inside?
The visitor. He came in as a visitor.
So he overstayed before they gave him, yeah?
Yes.
What was the letter said? The letter is saying that 5 years or 10 years. What was it?
Yeah, it's 10 years hearing.
That's just it. That's just it. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Yeah, bye. Hello?
Hello,
Good
ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Please, I want to ask a question. I was married to an EU family member in 2008, and they granted me my 5 years. And after the 5 years, we went to renew, but we were stuck. They asked for bank statement, which was unable to be provided at that time. So I lost the appeal. Now I've divorced, was finally in 2017 January, and I've switched my application to because I have a British son who naturalized 10 years. Is it possible I married after 5 years together?
What was your status before you were granted your residence card?
I was on visitor visa before I was married.
And you run out, yeah?
I didn't run out.
Oh, you were still on your visit visa when you get your 5 years, yeah?
No, I run out for 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be a bit difficult if I want to be honest with you. Because the regulations they use on the EEA person is different from the one they're going to use on the immigration rules. And your child is a British citizen, so it's coming under immigration rule. You understand?
They granted me 30 months under 10 years.
So you can still apply for another 2.5 years.
Yeah, and after that,
If you were assessed on income and on English test when you apply for the first 2.5 years under your son, then I can possibly think that you may be able to do your indefinite leave to remain afterwards. Aha, that's the logic. If they didn't ask you for, if they didn't, do the English test now and do life in the UK test, and when you are going, and close it and see what they will say, and let your representation says 5 years under 5 years parents' route. But I doubt it, because when you were giving that letter under your son, the letter will have come under 10 years parents' route. That's just it. And it's quite a lot of money if you pay for indefinite leave money, 2,000 plus. They're not going to refund you. If you have money to gamble, you can gamble it next time when you finish your second time. Yes. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, I just want to ask about the EEA family. I got married in 2011, but and I put on an application which I was granted at the but okay.
It's what? I didn't get that.
2 years ago, and I decided to put on clean out, but I because what I presented an expired ID, so I was asked to bring a new ID, which I'm unable to provide because we already. Is there anything I can do?
You have 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
You had 5 years and it had expired now.
Exactly.
And you're no more with your EA person.
Yes, we are no more together.
And they asked you to provide ID card. Why would you give them a run-out ID card in the first instance?
Because that's what we are together. Because
I'm not going to action it, so you will not, without prejudice. If you give it to me and I'm home office staff, I will not action it as well.
Is there anything I can do to that, please?
Go and book your appointment to see me in the office.
Okay. That's fine.
When was the last date you submitted to the home office?
That's about 5 months ago. But
Book
you
appointment.
replied me last month.
Book appointment to see me.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. There are so many cases that will need to come through office and it cannot be resolved online here. 0208 309 8808. 0208. Book your appointment to see me. To see me on Monday. Yeah. 0208 309 8808. Believe me, immigration law is complicated, it's difficult, it's not straightforward at all. A lot of people think that when you're studying, you're doing immigration, you can practice it carelessly. No. You read law to understand law. If you don't read law, there is no way you can give advice on law. There is no small law. It's only medical doctor that want to compete with us. But let me tell you, they can do it in sciences. Lawyers are not just a joker. We eat a lot of cases before we can digress and advise. And for somebody of my caliber, I have to be honest with you. I know in and out of immigration law. So I will not give advice carelessly. He shouldn't have submitted an expired ID card in the first instance. Some lawyer takes unnecessary risk. That application should have been addressed straight away to the Secretary of State and ask questions from them. How do you expect him to get ID card? If payslip is there and bank statement is there today and there is proof of address to date until the date of divorce to show, or employment history from revenue and customs, how do you expect ID card again? That would have been granted easily. The fact that they put ID card that has expired there is another statement entirely to the Secretary of State, which makes the caseworker get angry and refuse it. You can't deceive when somebody who is clever. If someone who is lying doesn't know that he's lying, the person they are lying to understand it, that you are lying to me. That is what my father told me. So two people cannot be at wrong at the same time. I'm on 07908 628 07908 628 The studio might end the program, but I'll still hang around until the next person come in, so that I can listen to your queries. I can take calls from you. But studio will be ending the program shortly now. In about a few minutes, it's going to end the program in studio, but I'll carry on to start taking calls from you guys there. And I'll do it for another 30 minutes extra before I leave. I'm on 07908 628240. 07908 628240. I'm talking about the rights of the EEA family member to continue to have their status in the United Kingdom along with their EEA person. The government is saying that no, they cannot continue unless they are under the same household. It's not possible to live under the same roof with your EEA person. Your EEA person is managing 2-bedroom house, has 4 children. And you yourself, you are there again. So it's not possible. And you have been granted 5 years president's card. And you are working. So what is the point? It needs to be revisited. The government has, the Secretary of State has refused in the past those who earn more money than their EEA person. And I'm saying that it's wrong. I'm saying it's wrong. I'm I'm on 07908-628-240. If I leave studio, I'm not going to take calls after this, please. So that's why I'm giving the opportunity now that whoever wants to call me, this is an arena to call me. I'm not taking calls after I leave studio. Hello? Yes. Thank you. Please go ahead. That's immigration rule, isn't it? That is immigration rule you are talking about your responsibility towards your children that has British passport. Check the letter from the Home Office and see what the requirements are. What exactly are they asking you to provide? Yes, because if the kids are not in school yet, then you need to provide another letter, another document to show that you have contact, isn't it?
Yes,
are you living in the same house with them?
Because they have never been informed me that they are having an appointment. Whenever I ask her, she will tell me that I do not say that they are okay.
That's going to be my topic on Monday. I have already planned my head. That thing is coming as a topic on Monday. Yes, it's coming on Monday. That's the topic for Monday program. So maybe you will need my assistance before you submit to the Home Office.
No, I told you earlier, you know that I don't have policy for consultation. That's why you have.
That means you're not ready for application then. So you can carry on dealing with the Home Office the way you like. But I pray nothing will go wrong.
How can I make an application?
So I pray nothing will go wrong. So you since you don't have money, then you should be handling it yourself. Thank you, sir. You use money to look for money. That's the way my father brought me up. You use money, spend money to look for money. I'm coming on Monday. I am coming to address that topic. The issues of father not having access to their children, and you absent father that now turn up overnight to now wanting to have access to your children because you want to have status, and you mother that is refusing the father to have access to his son or to his daughter. Monday, I'm putting them together 3 in 1. So you're not going to say I am supporting men or leaving supporting women. I am going to blow both of you together at the same time on Monday. Watch out. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Please, I have a question. And my question is, I've been around for almost 16 years. And what chance do I have to get a visa, to get stay?
You've been in the UK for 16 years, yeah?
For 16 years, yeah.
15, 15.
16.
So you got another 4 years. If you don't have a child, you don't have wife, you've got another 4 years to meet the private rule.
4 years?
Yeah, another 4 years.
So if I have that 4 years, can I just submit my application myself, or do I have to go through?
You want want to deal with Home Office outside the rules by yourself without using lawyer to remind them what rules or law you are relying on.
No, if you are advising me that I have to do that through a lawyer now, then I will know how to. But I was thinking like if I have the what it takes to submit without going to a lawyer, then
you can do it. Yes, you can do it, sir. Good luck. Yes, you can.
Okay, I think I go to talk to what you're.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I answer now.
Yes. Good afternoon. Yes. Please go ahead. Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead. It's what? Hold on. Hello? Yes.
I was watching your live program, knowing that your wife is similar to my kids. So that's why I said, can I preserve the person? Yeah, what you're saying online, because I'm independent and I depend on my stepmom. So I earn the salary more than her. So I was just thinking, is it going to be an issue for me in future or what? Because I have 5 years with me.
I didn't get your question right. I didn't even understand it at all.
Okay, I'm independent of my stepmom, which is EEA. So when I got my 5 years, I started working a full time. So now, because I earn the salary more than her, so now the way the case was now, I was just scared. Maybe is it going to affect me in future when I want to renew my documents or something?
Are you the husband or an extended family?
No, just stepson.
Just what?
Stepson. She's my stepmom.
And you are living in the house?
For now, I was living in the house. I was planning to leave the house by next year.
You cannot leave the address until you get your permanent residence.
What about the full time that I'm doing? Is it going to affect me?
No, I don't think so.
It's not going to affect me because that is why I'm scared. Because now she's not working because she have a baby. So and since I got my own 5 years, I was doing full time. So that's why I'm scared. Maybe is it going to affect me when I want to renew for my document?
I tell you what you will do for me.
Okay.
You have issue at hand. The question you are asking online is a bit too long for me to deal with here. When the time comes here, come to the office for consultation and come and take advice.
Where is the office? Because I live outside London, which is Northampton.
Call 0208 309 8808. People come from all over United Kingdom to see me.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
God bless you for the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just following you on Facebook at the moment. I just want to put just a simple question across regarding an EEA family member.
Okay.
Yeah, I am married to an EEA family member. We have 3 children. We currently live together as a beautiful family. My my visa, 5 years visa, will be due somewhere in February next year. What time would be the appropriate time to go forward for the extension, maybe for the indefinite? And what advice do you have for me?
What do you have now? What type of status do you have now?
I have a 5 years EEA family member. Married to a family member. I'm married to an EEA family member.
Okay. So you're not due. Basically,
I have all the certificates and everything.
That's fine. That's fine. They're saying that at least 28 days before you run out, you need to come for extension.
Again, I didn't catch that, please.
28 days. That is what the Home Secretary is saying. 28 days before you run out.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so would it be advisable, say, if I put the application through, say, 2 months before the time?
That's fine. That's okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So if it expires in February, so let's say December, January, it should be okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Afternoon. Hello.
Oh, sorry, good afternoon, ma'am. I just wanted to get your advice in regards to, I called in the week regards to the IVF fertility stuff, and I wanted to see if I can get your advice regards to that.
Say that again. Say it again.
The IVF and the fact that on spouse visa and not receive some certain treatment on the NHS.
Don't you think that's a bit too sensitive on the platform to be discussing? Isn't it?
No, I just wanted to find out if there's any way or anything I can do to. Okay, I can call back.
I think it's a bit too sensitive on platform, on social media.
Okay.
Yes. It's not because of the government, it's because of people that may have been affected one way or another. I think it's a bit sensitive.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. You see, I'm a complete woman, so I always want to think from the woman perspective when it comes to talking about issues affecting other women out there. She might be the person that has that issue as well, but she might have that strong heart to take it on. But there could be other women out there that cannot stand the discussion in the public arena, and one thing we said may affect their emotion, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So as a result of that, I don't think it's worth for me to be discussing the issue of what is it called again? IVF treatment online. I'm not a medical doctor. They are trained to have their eyes off their head, so they can discuss anything to do with that anytime. But my situation is quite different. I am very cautious of what I say in the public, and I don't want to affect my fans with their emotion, with what I said from my mouth. Because I have a lot of clients that are affected in this area, so I take it very serious. Hello? Yes. Good afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, àwọn èèyàn mi kan 5 years ni wọ́n tún wá lò 5 years yẹn tán mà so wọ́n wá gbé ìwé wọn wọlé ní pé wọ́n apply fún indefinite so wọ́n tún wá fún wọn ní 5 years padà mà so irú àwọn onítọ̀hún ó dẹ̀ na ọmọ méjì so ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbàwé fún àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ so kò wá mọ̀ nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe ni mà wọ́n ní kí bèrè question yẹn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yìn.
She should even be grateful that she's given another 5 years instead of refusing her. Oh yes, so she needs to go and wait and spend whatever year she's missing from the first 5 years before she can apply for permanent residence and then apply for those children's status. So she should be grateful, she should be happy, she should be celebrating.
Okay.
Half bread is better than none.
Okay, ma.
Yes.
Alright, ma.
Thank you.
Yes, ma.
Bear it in mind, I didn't have the deep details of that case.
Hello.
Yes, hi. But the person was granted second term 5 years. But on a whole, the person should be celebrating. This is not the time to say that she wants to put application forward for permanent for British passport for children. Hold on. You will not be able to make application for children's passport until you have permanent residence or indefinite leave to remain. When you are on 5 years, you have to wait. 5 years is limited. It's not final. So that's the point. Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Good afternoon. Somebody say, hold on. Somebody is saying that can these people please speak English for the sake of those that don't understand? Please, yeah, please. People are stressing here. Yes, thank you. Yes.
I just want to have this question.
Okay.
Is it possible for a father of a child to give the child to nationalize the child now? The child is 6 years old, but the father and the mother are not married. They are not living together.
The father and the mother are not living together, but the child is born in the UK.
The child is born in the UK.
Yes, now.
The father and mother are not living together, and the father don't have
It doesn't matter, it's fine. The law, you see, the way law is done about the immigration rules, it makes sure that those who were born in the UK have opportunity ahead of those who were not born in the UK.
Somebody was saying they changed the law that
they've not changed the law. That child is born. That child was only born 6 years ago. It wasn't born before 2006. If the child was born before 2006 law, then we'll be speaking another English.
Okay, because when the mother was talking to the mother is my sister. So the mother was saying the lawyer told them.
Tell her to come and get consultation from me if she wants to get application for her son or her daughter. Simple. I stand corrected.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm told already that okay, I have a lawyer at hand now.
Yes. Yes.
Because she didn't have any status in this country.
Yeah, so it's not a problem. The father can register his child. Yes.
Because the father only has indefinite leave.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If the child were to have been born outside UK, then it's a different time entirely.
Yeah, the child was born here.
Yes, exactly. So that's fine. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Ma. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just calling. It's just a quick question. I just wanted to find out because, my partner and my 2 kids were born in this country.
Okay.
They are due to apply for indefinite leave to remain. But because of not having enough funds, we were thinking that the dad should apply for indefinite first, and we apply for British passports for the kids. Is that possible?
Say it again.
For him to apply by himself, leaving the kids out of the application, and when he's got his indefinite, we apply for the kids. Is that right?
What has it got? What type of status?
He had discretional leave, which after 6 years he can apply for indefinite.
Yeah, it was for him alone, so it's not for him and the children. So if he has 3 years discretionary leave, then he can apply for indefinite leave at the end of that 6th year.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was given with one of our child, because the other one is still a baby. So the first one and him, they were given 3 years, 3 years. So we were thinking because of the money, if he does it himself, and when he's got indefinite, we apply for the kids' British passport.
I won't take risk because they might have it on their record that they gave him because of his child, and if he doesn't take that child along, then he's stuck.
Okay. What about the other one? Because the other one hasn't got anything yet.
That's fine. That one is okay. When the dad come back and the dad has indefinite leave to remain, the other one can go in. They can apply for passport for the other one, for the baby.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much and have a good day.
You too. Take care, dear. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hi there.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Afternoon, ma.
Yes, afternoon.
Please, I just want to know. Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm here.
I just want to know the fate of some of us that are coming from European country. Hello, ma?
I'm here with you.
Okay. I came in here about 9 months ago with my kids, and we have the German passport. You understand? Yeah. So, they are already in school. I'm also working. So, about this Brexit and all that, is there going to be a time that it will affect us, or they will ask us to go back to Germany, or that we will not be able to stay in the UK?
No. Don't forget that we too have British citizens in Germany, living in Germany.
Okay.
So if we make irrational law that can affect European citizens in the UK, then the interest of the British citizen living elsewhere in the European countries will be affected as well at the same time.
Okay.
Academically, they have been threatening us as well. So there is no way we can make a decision to affect all of you that are here now. So don't worry.
Okay, because my daughter came back from school yesterday, and she was all panicking. Oh, mommy, look at I don't know if this thing is going to affect us. They might ask us to go back.
How old is your daughter?
She's 18.
15.
She's 18.
18. No.
University next year.
Pass my message to her and reassure her to live her life like UK citizen and stop thinking about Germany at the moment. Tell her to start living like a UK citizen.
Yeah. Okay.
You are not going to.
We are Dutch citizens, we are German citizens. Even if they ask us to go back, so we can go back. It's our home. But in as much as I know there are UK citizens also living elsewhere in Europe, and it's a cross-country,
We are not going to say go back, so don't worry about that. Just carry on living your life like normal. Live your life as if you were a UK citizen like me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Please, ma, can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Okay, I will save your number in case I have other, I'm trying to bring my mother into this country. So I might also need some, advice on how to process that. So, but my mother lives in Africa. So I will try to get in touch with you later so that I can know the legal process to pursue in order to make that,
That's fine.
So
That's fine.
better to get that done, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Yes, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for listening to my platform and coming on my platform once you see my real light. I want to appreciate all of you. You see, appreciation is my swagger, and anyone who runs the platform that doesn't appreciate fans that come to look at them, it means that they are ungrateful. The fans that come out to look at us make us have the strong personality to continue to do what we are doing, even though some of us have been doing this before the Facebook video came into being. But at the same time, it is you guys that are watching us that give us the happiness to continue to do what we are doing. And that is why they say viewers. On the media, it says viewers. Your viewers are very important when you are running a platform, you are running a social media line, or you are running a TV line, or radio line. The viewers, people that are calling in, people that are listening, they are very, very important. So I want to extend my appreciation to all of you on my platform. I cannot love you less. The way others do their own is different, but I, Tokunbo Olagbaye, will always show my appreciation to all of you on my platform. Without you, there is no Tokunbo Olagbaye. to the extent of those who refer people to me from Nigeria, from everywhere. You have connected me to people that I did not even dream that I can meet in one day, because you believe in what I do, and you just gave them telephone number and said, listen, go and phone her. Whatever she tells you is final. She will tell you the truth. I believe you. I trust you guys, and I want to appreciate all of you. I cannot do anything behind your back in terms of doing this job. You are wonderful, and I appreciate all of you. Let people know that I spoke about the right of the EEA family member in the United Kingdom. That's what I discussed today. Your right to remain in the UK after we left Europe, after we have departed, is there. And your right to continue to have your husband or your wife without marriage certificate is as ended once the marriage finishes, once the relationship ends. So if there is no marriage certificate, your relationship with that person end, you will not be able to have your permanent residence. I also spoke about the issue of those who are having the dependent visa leave, residence card rather, relying on their uncle, their brother, their sister as their family member. And the Secretary of State for the Home Department is saying that unless you live under the same household, I said that area needs to be challenged. It is not possible to carry on, because the whole idea of you having your residence card is to have your independence from your EA person, but to continue to work as if you are EA person in the United Kingdom. So you should not be refused on for permanent residence if you don't have the same address with the person. As long as the government said, as long as you can show that your EA person is working in the UK and exercise treaty right, and you too, you are also working and exercising that treaty right as if you are EA person, you should not be denied that opportunity to have your permanent residence. I want those who are doing a married partner on EA application, there is every possibility that you will not go far if the relationship ends and you don't have child in that relationship. That will end the opportunity to have your permanent residence. My name has not changed. Tokunbo Olagbaye. Call my office, book appointment 0208 309 8808 0208 309 8808. Phone on Monday, book appointment, come and see me. Consultation is only £50. It is better to pay consultation of £50 than to lose a whole lot of thousands of pounds on dirty advice. And that is where I'm going to stop today. I will catch you up guys again on Monday. I'm going to talk about the parents' rights to have access to their British child in the UK. I'm going to talk about the women denying their husband or partner from seeing the children on Monday. So join me Monday morning. Thank you. Tokunbo Olagbaye. Bye for now.